Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. This is week number 3 of our stitch along for the mandala. In actual real filming time it's actually the very next day, and I filmed week 1 and 2 yesterday, and now we're moving on to 3. So it's not a project that, as far as week 1 and 2, that is not undoable like in a quick time frame, but now it's gonna start slowing down because we're now gonna get to the outside of the Afghan, so it's gonna be a lot more time to get around each round. So today we're gonna be moving on to rounds number 26 all the way to 40, and just got to keep an eye on the coloring to make sure that we're getting it to doing right. Now that I've actually done all the way to round 25, I'm starting to see similarities in this particular project where we're going to be repeating some of the similar stitches. So in actual fact it's not that hard in the sense that it's I think most of it is what we've already done so far, and I think it's going to be quite cool. So we just got to watch our color changes, and if you haven't seen anything that we're doing before, it's going to be using a Bernat Super Value. I've already covered in the other videos on what we're doing as far as doing this our strategy as far as following the diagram. I also labeled each one of the balls with the letter that matches, so I am actually following the coloring that is suggesting. I am using a different colorway just because I can, because I want to. So this is kind of fun, and let's go to the diagram. You are going to be using, I think for the majority, unless I state otherwise, a size K, a 6.5 millimeter. You can use your Super Saver, Super Value, all that jazz, and just keep on going. So let's go to the diagram and let's see what we're going to get ourselves into today. So on page number 6 we have the diagram. We just finished doing this on week number 2, all of this, and now we're moving to here. So you can see that the radius is getting wider, so that's why it's not as tight as this, and once you understand the repeat pattern for this, it actually makes a lot of sense. So we're gonna just zoom in and let's take a look at round number 26. As we begin this, remember there is a stitch key here. This is all the simple information that you need, and we are moving in a counterclockwise position. We talked about that already in week number 1. So week number round number 26, we're going to start off, and we're going to be doing a front post single crochet, and it's going to be matching the other front posts that you see there, the front post trebles that we did, so that's kind of a cool thing. And so basically every one of these stitches is going to get a single crochet. Remember we talked about this before in the last video, the X's is actually the older way of doing a single crochet, so don't get confused by that. And let's begin round number 26, and let's take a look at our color. It is saying to use color B, so let's begin. So let's begin, and we're going to be using color B, using an extra long strand here just so that I can use it to sew it in if I have to, a tapestry needle. So it's telling us to go on one of the front post trebles that we have already, so just use that one and just insert in, and it's asking us not to do like a single crochet right away, so we're just gonna attach it and then chain 1, and then around the same post I want you to do a front post single, so just going around the post. Okay, it's a front post, and just pull through and then pull through 2. Okay, so that when I attached it and I chained 1, it was just a builder. So each one of these other stitches are just a single crochet, noticing that I'm going up over top of the straggler as they trap it into position. So really the trick I'm watching for is that I'm looking for when the next front post treble comes to be, and then I just match that with the front post single crochet when I get there. Okay, so the next one here, this is going to be a front post single crochet, and we're going to do that all the way around. So please do that. This is round number 26. So I'm finishing up round number 26. Remember I started on a front post here, and that's where I'm going to join it. Let's get rid of this yarn. Rounds number 27 and 28 are next. Both are the same rounds. I'm only going to show it once, but make sure you do it twice because there are 2 different colors involved, and it's pretty easy. So let's just get rid of this yarn and move on to round number 27 and 28. So both 27 and 20 are exactly the same thing. There is no growth on either of these, which is, it's not surprising. It will work out when it comes to be. So sometimes there's growth and sometimes there's not. So all we're just going to do is just attach to the beginning one here, and then we're going to do a front post double around the front post single here, and then each one of the singles just gets a double crochet, and then when there's a front post single, it's a front post double. The next round, number 27, is exactly the same thing, so it's following the same path to provide that you'll see. So let's get started on round number 27, and then I will do 27 and 28. Both are different colors, so just refer to that. So 27 says that it's color D, and 28 round 28 is color E. So let's do that now. So let's begin. We're gonna begin on a front post double crochet that you see there, and then we're just going to attach and then chain 1. Okay, so this here, because it's a front post single, is going to be a front post double. When there's front post singles, they're always a little tighter, so if you're thinking it's tight, it's not you, it's the stitch. So it's a front post double, and then the rest of the single crochets in between there is just a double crochet. So you're just essentially looking for when it drops down to do the front post single, that's where you're gonna put a front post double. And then in the next round, number 28, is that you'll see that this is the front post double, and then that's where you're gonna apply it. So the next one here is the front post single here, so just make it a front post double this time, and then keep on moving around. So do that, and this is round number 27 and 28. Just change your color for 28 and then keep on moseying around doing the exact same thing. Okay, so now I've just finished up to round number 28. So I did 27 and 28, and you can see that they kind of align. Let's go back to the pattern, because what we're going to do is we're gonna kind of go back in time, and remember when we did this here, this surface overlay, we're gonna be doing it again right now. So let's move along to round number 29. So looking back at the diagram here, we have round number 29. We're gonna play on the front loop only, and we're gonna just do a slip stitch surface overlay, just like we had done before way back in time, and actually it's the same color that we're gonna be using as well. In 29, let me just look at my sheet real quick here. It's going to be color F as in Frank. So we're gonna be doing that, and then we're gonna be using the back loop then for the next one of round number 28 to do round number 30. But let's just do one at a time. Let's do the surface overlay with the slip stitching for round number 29 next, using the color F. So let's just start. So I would not start with the slip knot. I said that last time we did this. I agree with that assessment. So again, if you're new to crochet and we haven't done it on this video yet, remember that 2 loops equal a stitch. The loop that's closest to you is the front loop, and the loop that is away from you is the back loop. So we're only gonna play on the front loop only, and let's just start here, and we're just going to pull this loop. Okay, and we're gonna secure the loose end, so leave a loose tail later, and we're gonna be securing that with the tapestry needle. So moving then to the next stitch, just pull through and through. Again, what I said before, just be gentle about it. Slip stitching has the tendency to be tight, and then I'll show you how to finish this, especially when it's a surface overlay, so that it looks pretty consistent when you're done. So just slip stitch front loop all the way around round number 29. Okay, so we just come all the way back around, and what I want to do is that I'm stopped at the one just before the end, so I'm not gonna slip stitch. So I'm going to just cut this yarn here, but I want to leave enough for a tapestry needle, and I want you to pull this straight out. I showed this before if you recall. So in order to get the look to be consistent, you have to finish this off in a really unique way, and this is called an invisible join. Feeding the yarn onto the tapestry needle. The way to do an invisible join is to take this yarn here and travel up underneath these. I explained this before in the last video that we did with this. So I'm gonna go up underneath there, and when I come back I want to go into the middle section of where it's coming out. So see how this is popping out the middle? I want to go down through there, just like there, and when I pull it, it's going to pull everything together, and I don't want it to be so loose that it's creating another stitch. Okay, so I want it just nice and tight, and then once you do that, just turn it over and just secure the back side. Okay, so when we go to do this, we're going to be using the back loop. So when I go to do this, I want to make sure that I'm really careful about where I'm securing it. So I just want to stay so that I'm not interfering with any stitches. So I'm going to stay within the same color. Then what I want to do, because I didn't secure the first one with the slip knot, I want to take the first strand here, and I want to secure that in as well, because it was just a loop if you recall. And again, the same story, just keep it within the same coloring. So just get within, stuck within the same fibers here. Do you notice I went in the other direction as far as like traveling, so I don't create a bulky spot, just like that. So now I'm ready then to continue on the story and move on to round number 30. So back to the sheet we go. We're going to start up on the first one, chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet in the next 13, and then the next one will have in 2 double crochets into the same one. Notice there's an arch, so we're gonna be using the back loop then of round number 28. So if you can recall that there is going to be a total of let me just take a look at the sheet here. There's a total of 14 double crochets in a row before you have 2 in a row. So you're starting in the one after you put 2 in here. So the 2 is the last thing. So you're just gonna go and essentially do 14 double crochets and then 2 in the next 14 and then 2 and then do that all the way for round number 30, and we're gonna be switching to the color G. So I'm just gonna create a slip knot first and put it on. So what I'm looking at here is that this is the surface overlay, and if I turn it over, see this one right here? That is the back loop. So this here, when I did the slip stitch, creates a space. So I wanna go in there. So just in the back loop and join. And to follow the instructions, I'm gonna chain 3 and then go to the next back loop here and then start double crocheting. So with this one plus the rest of the double crochet, there should be 14, and then put in 2 into the same one and then 14 and 2, and I want you to do that all the way around for round number 30, and then we'll see you back here in just a moment. If your stitch counts right, the one just before the join here will be 2 double crochets into the same one. Please do this all the way around and take your time. So as we come around, the last stitch here will be 2 double crochets, and that's just a matter of keeping the counts of 14 double crochets in a row and then 2 into the next. So let's just slip stitch, get rid of this yarn, and let's go back to the diagram. So we're now going to move on to color A as we move on to round number 31. So moving on to round number 31, we are going to start off and we're going to single crochet. So I'll do a standing single crochet, then chain 1, skip 1, single crochet into the next. I'm going to chain 3, skip 2, and then single crochet into the next, and that's the repeat pattern for this whole one. So then once I single crochet, I'm chaining 1, single crochet, skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 3, skip 2, single crochet in the next. So let's begin round number 31 using color A. Okay, so let's begin, and I'm going to start off in the one just before this chain 3 that I had, just like it shows in the pattern, and I'm gonna do a standing single crochet. So just pull it through, but don't pull through the first loop yet. Then once you've got 2 scooped, just push through, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so this time I am going to then chain 1, skip 1, which will be the chain 3 here, and then single crochet in the next. Then I'm going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and skip only 2, and 1, 2, and go to the third. Okay, so that's the repeat pattern. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 3, skip 2, and single crochet in the next. Please do that all the way around. This is round number 31. So I'm coming all the way around and just keeping with the counts. Everything is working out. It's nice when that happens. And so I'm just going to slip stitch this off. This will conclude round number 31. Moving on to round number 32 next. Moving on to round number 32, we are going to join in a chain 1 space, and I'm gonna do a standing single crochet, and in the next chain 3 space it's always gonna be the same around. It'll be half, double, treble, double, half. Once you get that done, in the next chain 1 space it'll be a single crochet, and then again the same thing. So half, double, treble, double, half, and then that'll be done, and then single crochet in the next chain 1 space. We're gonna be using the color C to continue with our journey. So let's begin. I'm gonna go to a chain 1 space, and that's where I'm gonna start. I always like starting just a little bit back before the last one, so that I never have a project that has the slip stitch all the way through the same section. So I'm gonna do this as a standing single. So there you go. And then in the next chain 3 space they're always gonna be the same, so it'll be a half double crochet. So half, and it will be a double, it'll be a treble, it'll be a double, and then a half, all in the same space. So I'm going to come to the next chain 1 space and single crochet, and then in the next chain 3 space do it again. So we're gonna do half, double, treble, double, and then half, and then move to the next space. It'll be a single. So do that all the way. The chain 1 space is always gonna be a single. So you're gonna see some really cool stuff happening at this point. So let's continue this journey. This is round number 32. So I've come all the way back around and I'm just gonna slip stitch to the first single crochet. Let's get rid of this color and let's move on to round number 33. So round 33 we're gonna use the color E and we're gonna start off in the first one of these. So we're gonna use the entire shell this time, half double crochet, double, and then we're gonna put 3 into the treble of single crochet and then 1 into the double and then 1 into the half. We're then going to reach down to this empty stitch right down here. So you gotta make sure that you get that and get into that stitch. You're gonna go right up over top of everything so that it's in there, and you're gonna be doing that here for this round for number 33. So let's begin using the color E. So let's begin using the color E. And we're gonna start off in the first half double crochet and we're going to join it. Here let's do a standing single crochet and then you're just gonna pull it up here and then just finish it like this, and I'll be back in just a moment. So moving along, Daniel just dropped me off a cup of tea so I had to stop for a sec. So we're gonna move to the next one. We're gonna do a single crochet and then the treble we're gonna put in 3 singles. So 1, 2 and 3, and then going down the other side of that and just get the double and then the half. Now what you're going to do is that you're going to do a double crochet going up over top of this and over top of this round and go right into this empty one right here. So just wrap and going into there and just go around and just get it. Okay, so everything's being encased inside and then you're just gonna double crochet as normal. So it's just wrapping all the way around. Starting the next one you're just gonna build up, so that go in the half for a single, a double for a single, and then the treble is gonna have 3. And then coming down is 1 and 1. Okay, and now the next one is down into this section. So wrap going all the way down so that the strand goes over top. Give it a little bit of slack when you do that. And then pull up and up. Okay, that's a double and then continue along. This is number 33 I believe, and we're gonna continue our journey. So I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming around here and it's the final here, and make sure that you do drop down and get that last double crochet in there that goes right up over top, and that'll conclude off that round, and this is round number 33. So we're gonna move on now to 34. We're gonna change our color to E, and that's gonna be coming up next. So let's move along to round number 34. So we gotta watch a couple things here. So we're gonna go to the middle one of the grouping of 3 single crochets and we're gonna attach to the back loop only when we go to do that. And when we do that we're just gonna attach there, and then we're just gonna jump to the double crochet that's coming down here. In the double crochet we're gonna put a treble, 3 doubles and 1 treble before advancing to the middle one of the single crochet where we'll single crochet in the back loop only. So we're back looping only on the single crochet, but we're just doing the regular stitch down here on the double crochet. So let's move along. We are moving to color E, which is, or sorry, color F, which is next. So this is round number 34. So let's begin. We're gonna come to the middle one of the grouping of 3 and I want to do a standing single crochet. And it's the back loop only, and now we're gonna come to the double crochet. So we're gonna start off with the treble first, so wrap the hook twice and then 3 doubles, 1, 2 and 3, and then 1 treble. So 1 treble, 3 doubles, 1 treble, and then when you move on now you're gonna come to the middle one here in the back loop only. If the single crochet, make it a single crochet. So just wrap twice and start with the treble in this next double crochet down here, and then 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, and don't forget the final treble before you move on. And when you're done that, you're just gonna come to the next grouping of 3, and it's the middle one and back loop only single crochet. So you can see you're filling in the spaces and it's gonna be awesome. So let's continue this journey as we move along. So I'm just finishing up the final one of the upside down shell here. That's not the technical word, that's what came to my head when I'm looking at it. So I'm gonna come, I've already done my back loop here of the single crochet when I started. Let's get rid of this color. Let's move on to round number 35. Let's move along to round number 35. So here we go. We're gonna attach to the back loop only of the single crochet, and then we're just gonna apply 1 double crochet into the back loops of each one of the stitches all the way around. How hard is that, right? So let's continue. We're gonna be moving on to the color B as we continue our journey, and we just have 5 more rounds after this to conclude today's video. So keeping with our journey, we're gonna attach to the back loop of the single crochet, and we're gonna chain 3, which will count as the first double crochet. So now we're gonna go in the back loops of each one of the stitches all the way around, including the single crochets. So L stitches is 1 double crochet in the back loop only, going all the way around. That's it. This is round number 35. So let's finish up round number 35. It is 35, it does say, and we're just gonna do a slip stitch. Let's get rid of this color and move on. And we're gonna move on to the next color next, and the next round is an expansion round, so you've got to pay a little bit more attention for that round. So let's move along to round number 36, and in 36 we're using the color D as in dog. So there is an expansion round, and you'll notice that there's a lot of double crochets without being expanded. So there's actually 37 double crochets between the 2 double crochets that you see here and the other one here. So that's why it's expanded like this. So what you can do, if I were you and you were me, it's gonna start off and it's gonna put in 3 double crochet, or sorry, chain 3 right here, and then put the next 2 as a double crochet, and then put sorry, the next 3 it says 1 2 3, so it'll be a total of 4, and then put in 2, and then start counting your 37 out. Just, and then it'll be 2. So then do another 37 and then 2. So the goal is when you come back around you should be able to have 37 as the magic number in between all of where it expands. So let's move on to round number 36. Now that I have the sample out, just to be aware, it is the back loop only for this entire round again. So we're just gonna join and chain 3. 1 2 3, there's your first double crochet, and then I want you to double crochet the next 3 in a row. So 1 2 and 3, and now the next one will have 2 into the same one, so put 2 into this one, and therefore that's when you're gonna start doing your 37 out. So the next 37 will have a 1 each, and then the next, and then another one, the one right after that is 2, and then another 37, and then 2, 37 and 2. So please do that all the way around. This is round 36. So I came all the way back around. See this 2 together? I was off by 1 stitch, so I just did the last 2 stitches as 2 together, and I also put in stitch markers just to double check my counts because I was getting a little bit paranoid. So I spent probably a lot longer on this than I would have on this particular round, but I wanted to get my counts right because it does matter in the future. So sometimes you just gotta cross check. So we're now going to move on to round number 37. 37 is a nice easy one. It's just 1 double crochet into each of the stitches going all the way around, and now that my counts have been verified again, I'm pretty secure on doing that. So let's go back to the diagram now and let's continue. So I want to cover something on the last section here coming around. I actually put 2 together, a couple spaces here, because my counts seem to be off by 4 stitches. I then went back to the instructions. Honestly, I've spent like 20 minutes on this. So I went back and I'm like, I just don't understand. So I put in stitch markers here about a half hour ago, and I realized that there's 10 points here, and each one of the points has 39. So 10 times 39 gives you 390. That means that I have an extra 4 stitches, and I realized that when they had us start with the 4 stitches here, that's not part of the repeat. You get it? So when we started then with the 2, it was 37 and then 2, 37 and 2, and so at this point I am going to come here and there will be 37 beyond where you did the 2 together, so right where the stitch marker is. So there will be 37 here and the extra 4 here. So I thought the 37 would include the 4, but it's not, and so by doing that then what happens, it brings you back to 394. Long explanation, sorry about that, but I just wanted to let you know, just in case you're thinking that you're gonna do exactly the same thing I did and screw it up. So when I get all the way here, I'm just going to slip stitch to the first and conclude that and just weave in the ends. So that's good. So let's move along now to round number 37, and 37 is pretty close to what we just did, but there's no expansion round, so let's do that next. So let's begin round number 37. It's gonna be the back loop only, and it's chain 3, counts as a double crochet, and then each stitch is a double crochet. There's no expanding on this one, and we're gonna be using color A for this one. So color A for 37. So round number 37, just attach to the back loop only. This whole round is a back loop only. Chain 3, there is your first double crochet, and then it's 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around. That's it. This is round number 37. Please do this and I'll see you back at the end of this round. So I'm just coming all the way back around. I'm just going to slip stitch, and that's the end of round number 37. So rounds number 38, 39 and 40 are gonna be the same color. We're gonna do that next and just fasten off, and let's get that color ready, and it is color G. So back to the diagram we go, and what you need to watch out for, there is an increase on this one, but there's not too many of them. And what we're going to do then is that we're just going to attach to any one of these double crochets, and then we're gonna with the single crochet, and then we're gonna single crochet in the next. So that means that there's 2 single crochets when you get to start. Then you're going to put 2 single crochets in the next one, and then you're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 27, and you'll do that all the way around then. So once you get 27 done, you'll put 2 into the next, and then another 27, and then 2 in the next, and then you should be ending up right back to where you started. So just keep an eye on that. We are working in the back loops only for this one as well. So let's begin. We're gonna go into a back loop, and we're gonna do a standing single crochet. And then we're gonna single crochet in the next. And now we're gonna follow the instructions as written. So we're gonna put 2 single crochets in this one, and then the next 27 are going to be single crochets, and then the one right after that is gonna be 2, and then 27, and then 2. And I want you to do that all the way around for this round, and I'll see you at the end. So I'm coming up to the very end, and I have to tell you, so I'm actually on number 27, and remember that we started with 2 before that. That means that my stitches are actually perfectly in count. It's almost shocking. We're not gonna fasten off now, but we're going to go back to the diagram, and we're gonna see what we're doing next. So right where we fastened off, we're going to chain up a total of 4. So the first 3 is the first double crochet, and the 4th is a chain 1 space. Skip a stitch and just go into the regular stitch just like here, and then chain 1, skip a stitch, and double crochet in the next. So there's no increasing rounds. It's just simply just follow that along. So it's double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. Let's do that for round number 39, and just one more round to do after this. So let's start number 39. So we're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3. That's your first double crochet, and the 4th one is a chain 1 space. Skipping the next one and double crochet into the one after that, and then chain 1, skipping 1, and double crocheting after that. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet after that. Please do this all the way around round number 39. So I'm coming all the way to the end. I'm gonna chain 1 first. I'm skipping the last stitch here and go to the 3rd chain up, and then that's it. Do not fasten this off. We're gonna go on to the last one, number 40. About time, right? So let's move on to number 40, and let's finish this week for today. So moving on to week number 40, we're just gonna chain up, we're going to slip stitch to the chain 1 space, and then just chain up 1, and then 2 single crochets in each of these chain 1 spaces. So as soon as you get the first 2 in there, then jump to the next space, 2, and etc., and do that all the way around. And then we're gonna be finishing off this one here, and we're going to continue as well. So also in the instructions, it'll say at the end of this one, round number 40, that you're fastening off E. You're not using E, you're using G. It's easy for accidents like that to happen in a pattern, but we are continuing with the color G, which is the same color that you've been using. So carrying on into round number 40, the final round, we're just gonna slip stitch to the chain 1 space, chain 1, and then put 2 single crochets in that same space, and then just jump to the next space and put 2 singles in there, and that's all you're gonna do all the way around. Essentially 2 singles in each chain 1 space going around. Please do that and see me at the end of this round, and let's get a bowl of popcorn and celebrate for finishing this week today. So I'm just coming around to the end, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, and let's get rid of this yarn color, and then that's it for today, and we'll see you next week as we begin our, as we continue our journey on the mandala. Have a good one, and we hope to see you again real soon, and we will finish out the final 10 rounds together next time.